talk about it's a small introduction. Rajesh is already aware with my introduction. Just for Teja, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Santosh Pathai. I work as a consultant and corporate trainer. I am a Microsoft certified trainer for this current year also. This PPT is older, so it has last year's logo. I am MCSA certified. I am Azure Administrator Associate certified. I am AWS Solutions Architect Associate certified. I am ITL certified and I am ITSM certified. The trainings which I deliver on technologies include Microsoft. So Microsoft, all the infra side technologies it includes, whether you talk about Windows Server, whether you talk about Exchange on-prem, whether you talk about SCCM server in the cloud. I deliver training on Azure. It includes Azure infra side, almost everything. AWS infra side, everything, and Azure and AWS. It also includes DevOps, right? I deliver DevOps sites training also. Apart from that, I deliver virtualization training, which includes VMware. I deliver networking training. So this is my secondary track and the fundamental track, that is Windows 10 and all that. I deliver cybersecurity trainings and ITL training also. Now talking about Windows Server. So Windows Server is very older platform. It is not a today's technology. It has been there since 1994. It has been there since 1994, or rather I say even prior to that, but I'll just come on that screen. Now, if we talk about Windows Server, now before jumping to Windows Server, let's understand the type of operating systems. So basically we have two types of operating system. One is client OS, one is server OS. One is client OS, one is server OS. I'll not use this pen. I'll use instead PowerPoint pen. Right, so we have server OS and we have client OS. Now, but if we talk about OS, so what is an OS? What is an operating system? So operating system is a software program that enables the computer hardware to communicate and operate with your computer software. For example, Adobe PDF Reader is a computer software. Google Chrome is a computer software, and it wants to talk to your hardware. So the layer between the hardware and your software is the operating system. So the trigger goes to your operating system and operating system trigger passes the same thing to your hardware. So let's say if I am typing something in Google Chrome to search, right? Let's say I want to search, for example, DXC technologies, or let's say I want to search Amazon fashion, right? So I'll go to Google Chrome. I'm giving the input through keyboard, through hardware, and it is getting the input is going to the Google Chrome. But what is the layer, how it is interacting? So it is passing through the operating system, and operating system have the drivers of your hardware. So it interacts with your drivers, and drivers interact with your hardware. Now, if we talk about client OS, now here as we are talking about Windows, so I'll be just talking about Windows, no another platform. So we have Windows and non-Windows. So non-Windows includes your Unix and Linux platform. So Unix, so Mac is based on a Unix platform. Macintosh or Apple is based on Unix, or Sun Solaris, IBM AIX are server-side operating systems. They are also based on Unix. And Linux, we are already aware that we have Red Hat Linux, we have Fedora Linux, we have SUSE Linux, we have Ubuntu Linux. So those are non-Windows platforms. So when we are talking about Windows, so in Windows client OS, we have Windows 11, the today's environment which we have. Prior to that, we had Windows 10. On some devices, you will find Windows 10, or on most of the devices, you will find Windows 10 and Windows 11. So basically, client OS is the OS where your user sits and works, where your user sits and works, whereas the admin side will work through server operating system. So now what is the work of server OS or the client OS? So server provides the services and client receives the services. Server provides the services, client receives the services. So client OS, we have Windows 11, Windows 10. Prior to it, we had Windows 8.1, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP. Prior to Windows XP, we had Windows 2000, Windows 2000 Professional. Prior to 2000 Professional, we used to have Windows 95. Now, generally, the client OS works with the server OS in a pair. In a pair, it goes. So with Windows 11, Microsoft introduced Windows Server 2022. Windows Server 2022. With Windows Server 2019, Microsoft introduced Windows 10 22H2. With Windows Server 2016, Microsoft introduced Windows 10 itself. With Windows Server 2012, Microsoft introduced Windows 8. With Windows 8.1, Microsoft introduced 2012 R2. R2 is the release 2 of Server 2012. With Windows Server 2008, Microsoft released Windows 7. With with Windows Server 2008, Windows Vista was released. With 2012, Windows 7 was released, and with 2012 R2, Windows 8 was released, and 8.1 was upgraded because of some bugs. Windows Vista was released with 2003 R2. With Windows Server 2003, we had Windows XP, and with Windows Server 2000, we had Windows 2000 Professional. Right? So this is a small history of our Windows Server. Now, if we talk about types of hardware servers, generally we don't have hardware servers, but let's say in some organization, you will find their own data center. So they might have their own servers. So we have the usual tower mount servers, which are used in small size of organizations mostly. So they look alike your desktop computer, but it is a different kind of hardware. It is not a hardware of your desktop computer. So let's say if you have 4 GB RAM of a desktop machine, it is not going to fit in your server. The server class RAM is different and desktop class RAM is different. Then we have rack mount servers. So what is the difference between tower server and rack mount servers? First of all, this size is very big. This size is very compact, and all the components are fitted into the cabinet itself. All the components are fitted into the cabinet itself. And most of the tower servers are non-hot swappable, non-hot swappable or non-hot swap. They don't have the feature of hot swap. Now, what is hot swap? I'll talk in a moment. Now, if we talk about rack mount servers, first of all, they are very sleek in design. They have very compact design. And inside the cabinet, you have your motherboard, you have your RAM, CPU, etc. And backside, you have your SMPS as you have in this tower servers. The hard drives are fitted in front. The hard drives are fitted in the front. So this is the power button. And if I want to see, this is one hard drive, this is the another hard drive, third hard drive, fourth hard drive, fifth hard drive, like that. So you have so many hard drive case. Now, how to change the hard drive? So you can pull this silver color cabinet out from here. It has a lock. You can pull it out. And once you pull it out, you can pull the hard drive and insert a new hard drive. And most of the rack servers are hot swappable. Most of the rack servers are hot swappable. Now, what is hot swap? So hot swap means you can insert or remove a hard drive. You can insert or remove a hard drive when the server is running itself. When the server is running itself. I hope Rajesh got dropped.
It, like the laptop battery drained out. He will join in 2 minutes. He pinged
So
me
we'll
in
wait
WhatsApp.
for a moment, right?
Okay.
It's okay if you want to turn your camera off.
Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Sir, Alti has joined. So the lady which called you 2 hours back.
Yeah, yeah. So hold on, I'll stop the recording first.